Good evening. I am your airplane announcer, Nicole Sharp, creator of FYFD, the most popular fluid dynamics blog on the internet. We are almost ready to begin. This is certain. Are your paper airplanes ready? Do not throw them yet. People in time zones around the world are watching this ceremony live on the internet, but the ceremony has not officially started yet. It starts when I say, and I'm not saying it yet, even though you may be hearing it, it starts when I say 5, 4, 3, 2. There will be 2 paper airplane throwing periods during this ceremony. Will the minor domos please unveil the human aerodrome? Let's have no uncertainty about this. Safety first. I remind you all, safety first. Throw at the target only, please. Safety first. Please prepare your airplanes for launch. I will count down from 5. Get set. T-minus 5, 4, 3, 2. Wait! I almost forgot. Welcome to the 27th First Annual Ig Nobel Prize ceremony. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Ladies and gentlemen, knowers, doubters, and people comfortable with uncertainty. Welcome to the 27th First Annual Ig Nobel Prize ceremony. And now, Professor Jean Berko-Gleason will deliver the traditional Ig Nobel welcome speech.
Welcome. Welcome.
We are gathered here at Sanders Theater at Harvard University. I'm Karen Hopkin, creator of the Stud Muffins of Science calendar. Thank you. Please welcome our most special guests, the new Ig Nobel Prize winners. year's winners represent 5 continents. And now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, literati, glitterati, pseudo-intellectuals, quasi-pseudo-intellectuals, and the rest of you, may I introduce our Master of Ceremonies, the editor of the Annals of Improbable Research, Chief Airhead, Mark Abrams.
We are gathered here tonight to honor some remarkable individuals and groups. Each winner has done something that makes people laugh, then think. The Ig Nobel Prize ceremony is produced by the science humor magazine, The Annals of Improbable Research, and it's co-sponsored proudly by the Harvard Radcliffe Society of Physics Students and the Harvard Radcliffe Science Fiction Association, and by the book This is Improbable 2, ISBN 978-178-074-3615. The editors of the Annals of Improbable Research have chosen a theme for this year's ceremony. That theme, I think, is uncertainty. Is that right? No. Tonight, 10 prizes will be given. The achievements speak for themselves all too eloquently. The prizes will be physically presented to the new Ig Nobel Prize winners by Nobel Laureates. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Nobel Laureates. 2007 Nobel Laureate in Economics, Eric Maskin. 2016 Nobel Laureate in Economics, Oliver Hart. 2005 Nobel Laureate in Physics, and a man who for 2 decades has humbly swept paper airplanes from this stage at this ceremony, Roy Glauber. Where is Professor Glauber's broom? It was here a while ago. It will make an appearance at some point. Please. Yeah, there are some bad jokes coming from this man down here. Do you want to? No, you wouldn't want to. Okay. Okay. Oh, and a 1990 Nobel Laureate in Physics from MIT, Jerome Friedman. As usual, was prevented from joining us, but he appears now via the magic of video.
Congratulations. I hope you are enjoying this as much as I am.
Thank you, Professor Friedman. Let's all too briefly meet some of the Ig Nobel authority figures who are on this stage. The band, Nick Karstoyu. The human spotlights, Jim Brett and Maddie Peltz. Okay. The human curtain rods, Anne Madden, Maria Elisiva. Our on-stage social media butterfly catcher, Richard Baguli. The referee who will enforce certain time limits, Mr. John Barrett. Is he here? He's not here. Mr. John Barrett is not here, which is not cause for celebration, but for old folks worried about sex and violence, the not safe for work indicator will attempt to block anything offensive from reaching your eyes, ears, or imagination. Here is our NSFW indicator, noted New York attorney William J. Maloney. Mr. Maloney, will you please indicate your displeasure? Thank you. As you know, we used to have a problem at this ceremony. Many of the speakers would exceed their allotted time. Here's how we now solve that problem. Please welcome the charming, the delightful, the ever so cute Miss Sweetie Poo. Miss Sweetie Poo is 8 years old. Miss Sweetie Poo, would you please demonstrate what you will do when somebody exceeds his or her allotted time?
Please stop. I'm bored. Please stop. I'm bored. Please stop.
Thank you, Miss Sweetie Poo. Now, Miss Sweetie Poo. Thank you, Miss. Now, Miss Sweetie Poo will. Thank you, Miss Sweetie. Whenever somebody. Thank you, Miss Sweetie Poo. Thank you, Miss Sweetie Poo. Our special thanks tonight to the CS50 course here at Harvard and Professor Henry Leitner especially for helping to make the webcast happen. Many other organizations also helped to make the ceremony happen. A big hello to everybody who's watching this online around the world, especially those of you in time zones where you've had to stay up very late or get up very early. Hello. Let's see. Oh, we, in addition this year to be on YouTube and on Facebook Live and on our site, improbable.com, this year you can connect with us one way or another in some direction or other on Twitter, on Instagram, and on Snapchat. And also, a specially edited audio version of this ceremony will be broadcast on Public Radio's Science Friday program with Ira Flato on the day after Thanksgiving. All right, let's get it over with. Ladies and gentlemen, the awarding of the 2017 Ig Nobel Prizes. We're going to be giving out 10 prizes. The winners come from many nations. The winners this year have truly earned their prizes. Karen, tell them what they win.
This year's winners will each receive an Ig Nobel Prize.
What else will they get?
A piece of paper saying they've won an Ig Nobel Prize. It's actually signed by several Nobel laureates.
Do they get any money?
$10 trillion.
$10 trillion?
$10 trillion.
Trillion? 10?
10.
US
trillion.
dollars.
Zimbabwean dollars.
Zimbabwean dollars.
We're talking about a Zimbabwean $10 trillion bill.
Yeah, that's all?
Yes, that's all.
Okay, how nice. Thank you, Karen. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the coveted Ig Nobel Prize. This year's prize is a replica of a human head supporting a replica of a question mark. The Physics Prize. The winners come from France, Singapore, and the USA. This year's Physics Prize is awarded to Marc-Antoine Fardin for using fluid dynamics to probe the question, can a cat be both a solid and a liquid? Please welcome our winner.
Thank you. Thank you. So it's a great honor. It's very nice. So when I was asked if I was willing to accept the prize, the answer was easy. You know, it might be cool to refuse a Nobel Prize, but it's certainly uncool to refuse an Ig Nobel. So are cats liquid? I saw this question asked on the internet, and it was based on the common definition that a liquid is a material that can adapt its shape to its container. And it seems to be the case. So I couldn't refrain from using this question as a way to highlight some of the actual questions that, and problems that are studied in rheology. So rheology is the study of flows, from the Greek rheo, to flow. You can find the same Greek root in the word diarrhea, so you know it's serious. And you can also find it in the more sophisticated word logorrhea, so I'll keep this short. So basically what I said in the paper is that
Please stop. I'm bored.
Thank you, Miss Sweetie Poo. Thank you.
You can collect your $10 trillion from the Nobel Laureates over there. The Peace Prize. The winners are from Switzerland, Canada, the Netherlands, and the USA. This year's Ig Nobel Peace Prize is awarded to Milo Puhan, Alex Suarez, Christian Locasio, Alfred Zahn, Marcus Heitz, and Otto Brandley for demonstrating that regular playing of a didgeridoo is an effective treatment for obstructive sleep apnea and snoring. Please welcome the winners.
This is Alex Suarez, and he himself suffered 15 years ago from obstructive sleep apnea syndrome and got prescribed the usual treatment, which is the mask treatment. Well, he went home, came back after a while and said, oh, I feel much better. But I didn't use the mask. I didn't tolerate the mask, it was nothing for me, but I picked up playing the didgeridoo with a special breathing technique, and indeed the sleep apnea syndrome was gone. And he helped other patients do the same, and after a while we thought, yeah, let's do a study on this. And we did a randomized trial, and this trial showed actually that after 4 months of playing the didgeridoo 5 times a week, that it reduces daytime sleepiness, the main symptoms, snoring, and apneas during sleep. And this actually showed that the sleep apnea may be treated by this exercise-based active type of treatment, which was a kind of a proof of concept study. So we are very happy to receive this prize, and I can also tell you now about another study.
We have a demonstration. Please give your attention to the next person who will speak. Nobel laureate Eric Maskin.
Please join us now in a moment of science.
The keynote address. Tonight's very brief keynote address will be given by Gene Evans. The topic of this keynote address is Heisenberg uncertainty.
The Heisenberg uncertainty principle. It's very famous, you know. It was named after Werner Heisenberg, the German physicist who thought it up. That was in 1927. 55 years later, in 1982, I was in Lindau, Germany, at a scientific conference. There were Nobel Laureates, students, and invited guests. We were all sitting at long tables. And directly across from me were two Nobel Laureates. One was Dorothy Hodgkin from Oxford, and my husband, Bill Lipscomb, from Harvard. Soon, a very elegant lady, older lady, showed up at our table and sat down right next to me. She leaned in and said, "My name is Mrs. Heisenberg." My husband looked up. "Are you certain?"
Now, here's a musical treat, the world premiere of a new mini opera called The Incompetence Opera. There are 3 acts, one now, one later, and one after that. It stars Maria Ferrante, Ray Bowens, and the Peter Principal Chorus, accompanied by the Dunning-Kruger Effective Orchestra. Now here is our narrator, Karen Hopkin.
Thank you, Lamb Chop. A psychologist walks into a bar. The psychologist commiserates with the bartender. The bartender commiserates with the psychologist. Each feels stuck in their careers. The waitstaff and the customers in the bar commiserate with them. As they all commiserate, you might want to think about the Peter Principle. The Peter Principle, described in the 1960s by Canadian psychologist Lawrence J. Peter, explains that in any organization, people are promoted until they reach their level of maximum incompetence. Let me repeat that. The Peter Principle explains that in any organization, people are promoted until they reach their level of maximum incompetence. The Peter Principle got the bartender and the psychologist to where they are today. It'll probably keep them there. Let's listen to them lament.
Trouble when I was young, they made me go see a shrink. She sized me up, offered me a job interpreting blotted ink. She disappeared, don't know where she went, the job was vacant. They consequently offered me promotion, which I accepted. Piss ignorant of psychology, I did what I thought was best. I told the clients to blow their nose and always stick out their chest. My boss got angry, then she resigned. Till they made me boss, hey, I didn't mind. They offered me promotion, which I accepted.
If your bosses had any sense, they would question your competence. How you manage to manage things when managing's a thing you don't know how to do.
If my bosses had any sense, they would question my competence. How I manage to do what I do when I do not know what to do.
If your bosses had any sense, they would question their competence. How they manage to manage things when managing's a thing they don't know how to do.
If my bosses had any sense, they would question their competence. How I manage to do what they do when they do not know what to do. Maybe there's uncertainty. It's hard to say how much, but certainly there's uncertainty.
Maybe
there's uncertainty when you get made into a manager. When some mediocre clock is chosen just by luck, and then we get stuck with them forever after they get promoted. Well, nothing really works because it's managed by random jerks.
My trouble tale is just like yours, like anything made the man. My trouble done it again, and what it is again. My trouble and early into the night, they ran a pavement motion which I accepted. The bar, no order get night to 10. I never knew that people turn in to ever come back again. The laundry took me they drinks 10 times a week. I cook the seats, they offered me promotion, which I accepted.
If your bosses had any sense, they would question your competence. How you manage to manage things when managing's a thing you don't know how to do.
If my bosses had any sense, they would question my competence. How they manage to do what I do when I do not know what to do.
If your bosses had any sense, they would question their competence. How they manage to manage things when managing's a thing they don't know how to do.
If my bosses had any sense, they would question their competence. How they manage to do what they do when they do not know what to do.
Maybe there's uncertainty. It's hard to say how much, but certainly there's uncertainty.
Maybe
there's uncertainty in who gets made into a manager. When some mediocre clock is chosen just by luck, and then we get stuck with them forever after they get promoted. Well, nothing really works because it's managed by random jerks. When some mediocre clock gets chosen just by luck, and then we get stuck with them forever after they get promoted. Well, nothing really works because it's managed by random jerks.
The Economics Prize. The winners are from Australia and the USA. This year's Ig Nobel Economics Prize is awarded to Matthew Rockloff and Nancy Greer for their experiments to see how contact with a live crocodile affects a person's willingness to gamble. Please welcome the winners.
have to rush up here. I don't have long. G'day. Let's try it again. G'day. Excellent. That's what I want to hear.
That's not an Aussie accent.
I'm sorry. Yeah, she's got the real Aussie accent. Sorry about that. So I don't do an Aussie accent very well, but anyway, I wanted to thank everybody for giving us this prize. I'd like, in particular, to thank my family, my wife, who said that when I asked what's exciting in Central Queensland that we could use to motivate people to gamble, she said, well, crocodiles, we're chock-a-block with crocodiles. So that's what we used. And Nancy I wanted to also thank Nancy, who actually did all the work on this project. Went on 100 tours and had a lot of crock pies. And Nancy had a few words to say.
And I got to hold a crocodile.
Over here.
Oh, and I got to hold a crocodile. But thanks, Matt, for giving me my first research job. And thanks to my family, my partner, my friends for supporting me in my research ventures.
Okay, so we're gonna go home after this and eat, drink, and be merry. So I want to encourage the rest of you to get stuffed as well. Everybody together, get stuffed. 1, 2, 3, get stuffed. You get stuffed, mate. You get stuffed.
You can get your $10 trillion bill over there from the Nobel Laureates. We have a demonstration. The not safe for work indicator has called off the demonstration. The Anatomy Prize. The winner is from the UK. The Ig Nobel Anatomy Prize is awarded this year to James Heathcote for his medical research study, Why Do Old Men Have Big Ears? Please welcome the winner.
Hi, thank you very much. Have you ever sat on a bus and noticed that the old man opposite you has very big ears? Once you've spotted it, it is impossible to imagine those enormous ears on a younger man, and so they must have grown. 20 years ago, we set out to prove this by measuring the ears of 206 patients. And we put it on a graph, and it's true. On average, your ears grow by about 2 millimeters a year, 2 millimeters a decade. Thank you for inviting me tonight. For everyone who's helped me to get this ear-shattering piece of research completed and published, make of it what you will. Thank you.
Don't forget to collect your $10 trillion bill over there. Some of our Ig Nobel Prize winners from previous years like to come back to the stage to take a bow and to help honor the new winners. We have two past winners who've been kind enough to join us tonight. First, the 2008 Ig Nobel Chemistry Prize was awarded jointly to one team that showed that Coca-Cola is an effective spermicide. And that prize was jointly awarded to another team which showed that it's not. Here to represent one of those teams is the scientist who began that entire line of research, Dr. Deborah Anderson. And also with us, please welcome someone who has traveled all the way from Australia to be here just to take a bow for you tonight. The co-winner of the 2003 Ig Nobel Physics Prize. It was awarded to the authors of the study, An Analysis of the Forces Required to Drag Sheep Over Various Surfaces. Please welcome John Culvenor. All right, now get set for something special, the 24/7 lectures. We've invited several of the world's top thinkers to tell us very briefly what they're thinking about. Each 24/7 lecturer will explain her or his subject twice. First, a complete technical description in 24 seconds. And then, after a brief pause, a clear summary that anyone can understand in 7 words. Our referee, Mr. John Barrett, has joined us. He will enforce the 24-second time limit. Mr. Barrett. Microphone. Mr. Barrett, do you have any advice for our 24/7 lecturers?
Gentlemen, keep it clean.
Thank you, Mr. Barrett. The first 24/7 lecture will be delivered by a professor of artificial intelligence and the philosophy of technology at Kosminski University in Poland. Please welcome Aleksandra Pregalinska. Her topic, bots. First, a complete technical description of the subject in 24 seconds. On your mark, get set, go.
We presented a study of human-bot interaction based on an experiment that consisted of 2 parts: measurement of psychophysiological reaction to chatbot users and the questionnaire that focused on assessing willingness to talk to a robot or chatbot. Our particular focus was on the uncanny valley effect, and in the experiment, we juxtaposed the EDA channel with the digital input channel, and the data indicated a very strong positive correlation between the uncanny valley effect and the negative affect evaluation.
And now, a clear summary that anyone can understand in 7 words. On your mark, get set, go.
Robots that talk are perceived as stupid. Sorry.
The next 24/7 lecture will be delivered by the Nobel Prize-winning economist Eric Maskin. His topic, uncertainty. First, a complete technical description of the subject in 24 seconds. On your mark, get set, go.
Uncertainty is the heart of economic life. What do oilmen, poker players, and bond traders have in common? Oilmen drill their wells, poker players look for tells, and traders time their sells in order to exploit other people's uncertainty. A party who does this well earns a profit, and the other parties will cry if they want to.
And now, A clear summary that anyone can understand in 7 words. On your mark, get set, go.
Uncertainty is the only sure thing. Perhaps.
It's time for Act 2 of the mini opera, The Incompetence Opera. Here is our narrator, Karen Hopkin.
Thank you, my fun-sized fajita. So, the psychologist and the bartender are still stuck in the bar, commiserating with each other about how they're stuck in their careers. So everyone else is still stuck in the bar listening to them. So now the psychologist is going to share his lofty professional knowledge with us. So he's going to tell us all about something all of us already know about, something called the Peter Principle. So let's drink in his wisdom.
So I've been thinking about our plight. We rose in rank to excessive height, above the point where we're competent. We're scared to seek other employment. So listen, sweetheart, while I explain, and then perhaps I will explain again. Explain to you this great principle, so you'll understand this great principle. So Lawrence Peter was first to hear it. Principally was his idea. He wrote a book all about this principle. I call it the Peter Principle.
Will help me to understand, so you, so to speak, will take me by the hand. So you, a person of principle, will explain to me the Peter Principle.
So here's one reason we get distressed. They base promotions on who is best. The one best worker is then removed from whatever that worker is best at. So, Peter says what is even worse and is even maybe more perverse is now the manager is someone who does not even know how to manage. So, there are incompetents. So, if what I'm saying makes any sense, all organizations manage to make their managers so dense.
So there are incompetents. So if what you're saying makes any sense, all managers manage to make other managers so low. dense.
So next is the Biology Prize. The winners are from Japan, Brazil, and Switzerland. The Ig Nobel Prize for Biology is awarded to Kazunori Yoshizawa, Rodrigo Ferreira, Yoshitaka Kanemura, and Charles Lienhard for their discovery of a female penis and a male vagina in a cave insect. The winners could not be with us tonight in person, so they sent us this video acceptance speech.
It's a great honor to receive the Ig Nobel Prize.
We're now exploring some caves, this time in Japan. Unfortunately, I could not attend the ceremony.
In the study, we reported a sex reverse cave insects in which females have a penis.
Yes, I peeped their sex life every 30 minutes and found out the females anchor the males by using her spiny penis up to 70 hours.
Every dictionaries around the world express penis as a male structure. Our discovery made billions of dictionaries outdated.
Yeah. So let's explore for other improbable insects. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We do not have a demonstration of this. Thank you. Thank you. The second and final round of the 24/7 lectures is about to begin. The next 24/7 lecture will be delivered by the head of the Henske Lab at Harvard Medical School and Brigham and Women's Hospital, Elizabeth Henske. Her topic, biomedical research. First, a complete technical description of the subject in 24 seconds. On your mark, get set, go.
Biomedical research is the investigation of health and disease by physicians and scientists worldwide, partnering with patients driven by data and seeking to prevent, treat, and cure devastating diseases like AIDS, cancer, diabetes, leukemia, lupus, parasitic disease, tuberous sclerosis, and lymphangioliomyomatosis, using tools including genetics, genomics, epigenomics, metagenomics, proteomics, metabolomics, high-throughput screens, and phase 1, 2, and 3 clinical trials.
And now, a clear summary that anyone can understand in 7 words. On your mark, get set, go.
Biomedical research is good for your health.
The next 24/7 lecture will be delivered by a specialist in occupational health and safety and human factors engineering in Victoria, Australia. And he's the winner of the 2000 Ig Nobel Prize in Physics for co-authoring the study and analysis of the forces required to drag sheep over various surfaces. John Culvenor. Dr. Culvenor's topic, the forces required to drag sheep over various surfaces. First, a complete technical description of the subject in 24 seconds. On your mark, get set, go.
Greetings, folks. The title of the speech is Rejoice. Rejoice. After searching all night, it was there in the light. Hey mate, a sheep, what a wonderful sight. So woolly, so bright. But watch out, cobber, that jumbuck's not light. It is not slight, you must drag it from a height. Remember,
And now, a clear summary that anyone can understand in 7 words. On your mark, get set, go.
Newton was right. Eat apples and Vegemite.
Thank you. The final 24/7 lecture will be delivered by a researcher at the Smithsonian Institution's Department of Invertebrate Zoology, Alicia Perez Porro. Her topic, sponges. First, a complete technical description of the subject in 24 seconds. On your mark, get set, go.
Marine sponges are sessile filter feeder invertebrates at the base of Metazoan's evolutionary tree. They have a key role in marine ecosystems and different levels of resiliency to climate change. Because of this, some reefs have been reportedly switching from coral to sponge-dominated. I use genomic techniques to reveal the genetic toolkit behind acclimation to climate change in reef sponges.
And now, a clear summary that anyone can understand in 7 words. On your mark, get set, go.
Our earliest animal ancestors are marine sponges.
The Fluid Dynamics Prize. The winner is from South Korea and the USA. The Fluid Dynamics Prize is awarded to Jiwon Han for studying the dynamics of liquid sloshing to learn what happens when a person walks backwards while carrying a cup of coffee. Please welcome the winner.
As we just saw, we all spilled coffee, all right? And we hate to spill coffee. And back in high school, I had a bit too much free time to myself, so I decided to write a physics paper about it, 15 pages long. And through a series of surprisingly rigorous mathematical arguments, I have found out the secret to not spilling coffee. You hold it from the top, you gaze straight forward, and start walking backwards. I know what you're thinking. Is this practical? Absolutely not. Not at all. Frankly, for those who want to not spill their coffee, that's why the lid was invented. However, I did learn a very important lesson from this research, and it is that research is not about how old you are. It's not about how smart you are. It's about how much coffee you can drink. And with enough coffee drinks and a little bit of bad luck, you might end up in Boston. Thank you.
Don't forget to collect your $10 trillion bill. I believe we have a demonstration. The Nutrition Prize. The winners are from Brazil, Canada, and Spain. This year's Ig Nobel Nutrition Prize is awarded to Fernanda Ito, Enrico Bernard, and Rodrigo Torres for the first scientific report of human blood in the diet of the hairy-legged vampire bat. The winners could not attend in person, but they sent us this video acceptance speech.
We have to make a speech to accept this outstanding prize. Fernanda, do you accept the prize? Mm-hmm. Rodrigo, do you accept the prize? Mm-hmm. We do accept the prize.
Thank you. We had intended to have a demonstration of this research at this point. A hairy-legged vampire bat on a rope and pulley was going to descend from the balcony over the heads of the audience down to the stage. But the hairy-legged vampire bat is not where we left it. If you should happen to find it, please notify an usher. Now, on to something new and intellectually stimulating. The first ever Win an Empty Box contest. Some lucky member of the audience here in historic Sanders Theater will win an empty box. This, ladies and gentlemen, is an empty box. And what better way to attest to the fact that it's an empty box and to minimize any uncertainty than to ask Nobel laureate Eric Maskin to examine the object and tell us whether it is or is not an empty box. Professor Maskin, we handed you this object. Please tell us whether, in your opinion, this is an empty box.
It's an empty box.
All right, thank you. Now, let's see which lucky ticket, if you could come back to center stage and perhaps have one of the domos here to, just in case there's too much excitement. Let's see which lucky ticket holder will win this empty box. When you entered the theater earlier, you were handed an attractive printed program. Open that program up right now. Turn to page 9. Now turn to page 6. If you see on page 6 a picture of a crocodile swimming in a cup of coffee, you have won this empty box. Please come up and claim your prize. You have a silver handprint on your back. Okay. Congratulations.
The second paper airplane deluge is about to commence. It will be 30 seconds in duration. Please prepare your paper airplanes. Please aim for the designated target. Safety first. Safety first, everyone. The countdown will now begin. T-minus 7 seconds. T-minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Commence paper airplane throwing.
Thank you. In the audience here tonight, there are many official audience delegations that have come from far and near. Karen Hopkin will direct our attention to some of these delegations.
Thanks, you clever little cannoli. When I introduce each delegation, it will make its presence known by standing up and twirling in place 3 times counterclockwise. Please greet these people with all the respect they deserve. First, we have Mensa, the organization for people with abnormal scores on certain standardized psychological tests. They're up in mezzanine C. We have the Harvard School of Public Health Grad Laboratory, or are they? In mezzanine B. The Knight Science Journalism Fellows at MIT, 10 professional science journalists who know fake news when they see it. Balcony C. The Harvard Radcliffe Society of Physics Students, in Balcony B. We have Raytheon BBN Technologies, where the wizards work. Up in mezzanine B. The Harvard Radcliffe Science Fiction Society, in Balcony F. The Boston Skeptics, who are quite uncertain about so many things, including Scientology, Bigfoot, and anti-vaxxers. And finally, we have the Museum of Bad Art. It's art too bad to be ignored.
The Medicine Prize. The winners are from France and the UK. The Ig Nobel Prize for Medicine is awarded to Jean-Pierre Royer, David Mounier, Nicolas Torquet, Anne-Marie Mouly, and Tao Jiang for using advanced brain scanning technology to measure the extent to which some people are disgusted by cheese. The winners could not attend in person. They sent us this video acceptance speech.
In France, we have 1,600 varieties of cheese, but we have shown that 6% of people were disgusted by cheese, a higher number than that found for other foods. In addition, from 1 to 6 members of their family also dislike cheese. The disgust is not only observed in France, but probably in most countries in Europe and in USA. Using a fMRI scanner, we observed that a small brain area activated when we are hungry and stimulated by food odors and images was deactivated in subjects disgusted by cheese. By contrast, 2 other areas involved in aversive behaviors were more activated in these subjects than in subjects liking cheese. In cheese lovers as me, it's a real delight, mainly with a good wine, but you must come to France to experience this. Cheers.
Please please, those of you in the audience here, if you're willing, help us gather some additional data pertaining to this research. First, if you are not personally disgusted by cheese and are ready to stand up for this fact, we invite you to stand up now if you are not personally disgusted by cheese. Okay. Thank you. You can be seated. Now, if you personally are disgusted by cheese and are ready to stand up for the fact that you are personally disgusted by cheese, we invite you to please stand up now. Okay, thank you. You can be seated. Or you can remain standing if you like. Now, please give your attention to Nobel laureate Oliver Hart.
Please join me in a moment of science.
Gentlemen, you do have a demonstration of some sort, don't you? Could Miss Sweetie Poo be of some assistance here? Everybody in the audience, do you know how to count down from 5 to 0? Let's see if we can all do that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. remind you that our theme this year is uncertainty. The Cognition Prize. The winners are from Italy, Spain, and the UK. The Cognition Prize is awarded to Matteo Martini, Ilaria Bufalari, Maria Antoinetta Stasi, and Salvatore Maria Aliotti for demonstrating that many identical twins cannot tell themselves apart visually. Please welcome the winners.
Hi everybody, thanks Mark, and thank you all for this prize. We're really honored to receive it. For some reason, this study has been the one we struggled the most to publish. Who knows why? So if we had to receive a prize for improbable research, it had to be for this one. Anyway, as an eminent photographer once said, the face is the only part of the body to be exposed naked to the first comer, and she was right, unless you live in a hut in an Amazon forest. The face is also the most distinctive feature of the body itself. People typically show a clear advantage in recognizing their own face over other very familiar faces.
Yes, but what happens when your face is extremely similar to another face, like in monozygotic twins? Surprisingly, we have found that identical twins hardly distinguish a picture of their own face from that of their co-twin at a quick glance. And even more surprisingly, we found that this effect depends on how much they felt physically similar to their co-twin, and also on how insecure the attachment to significant other is. Thank you.
Don't forget to collect your $10 trillion bill. We have here on our stage Dr. Aaron Aguirre and Dr. Andrew Aguirre. We have reason to believe that they are identical twins. Doctors, can you confirm for us that you are identical twins? Okay. They are confirming that. Excellent. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to both turn around and look carefully at a photograph that we have here. Decide, if you can, which one of you is shown in that photograph. Ready? Okay, now please look at the photograph. Which one of you is that? Good. Could we get a photo of the two of you facing the audience? And Eric, could you hold the photo behind them? Okay. Audience members, two of these three faces are living identical twins. Is there anyone who has trouble distinguishing which they are? Good. Thank you very much. And now the final prize, the Obstetrics Prize. The winning team is from Spain. The Obstetrics Prize is awarded to Marisa Lopez Tejon, Alex Garcia Faura, Alberto Prats Galino, and Luis Palares Aniorte for showing that a developing human fetus responds more strongly to music that is played electromechanically inside the mother's vagina than to music that is played electromechanically on the mother's belly. Please welcome the winners.
Institute Marquez is carrying out a state-of-the-art research on how music impacts the embryonic and fetal development. We have improved in vitro fertilization by applying musical vibrations inside the incubators of our fertility clinics and by inserting a speaker in the vagina of thousands of patients. For the first time, we have been able to communicate with the fetus. To achieve this, we have to create the baby pod. This is an FDA-approved vaginal speaker that connects to the phone. Thanks to the baby pod, we have discovered how fetal hearing works. Fetuses can barely hear noise outside the womb. The fetal ability to hear starts when they only measure 11 centimeters, 4 inches, and fetuses the myth of talking to your belly is over.
Good job.
Don't forget to collect your $10 trillion. We have a demonstration. The not safe for work indicator has terminated the demonstration. Before we finish up with the triumphal handshaking of the winners and then the stirring grand finale of the opera, we remind you to join us this Saturday afternoon at MIT. The new winners will give free public talks to explain, if they can, what they did and why they did it. 2 Ig Nobel winners from past years also will give brief talks at the Saturday lectures. One of them you met today, John Culvenor, will explain on Saturday how to analyze the forces required to drag sheep across various surfaces. Harvard has regulations that we are always careful to honor. MIT has different regulations, and so on Saturday, we are able to do something we were not able to do tonight. We invite you, if you're coming to the Saturday lectures and you have a sheep, to drag that sheep over to MIT, room 10250, measure that force if you can, and then we'd like to gather that information, and John Culvenor will explain to you how you can do it even better. Joining us also at the lectures is another past winner, co-winner of last year's Ig Nobel Biology Prize, Thomas Thwaites, also known as Goat Man, will be there to explain how and why he created prosthetic extensions of his limbs that allowed him to move in the manner of and spend time roaming hills, actually mountains in Switzerland, in the company of goats. Right. These free public lectures will be Saturday, 1 o'clock, MIT, Building 10, room 250. It's free. You don't require tickets, but get there early because it fills up. Okay, Saturday, 1 o'clock, MIT, 10250. And now, before we finish the evening with a conclusion to the opera, it's time for the triumphal handshaking. All of the new Ig Nobel Prize winners will now emerge one by one through the sacred curtain, there to receive a token handshake from Nobel laureate Eric Maskin. It's time for the thrilling conclusion to the mini opera, and this is the world premiere tonight. This is the thrilling conclusion to the Incompetence Opera. Please welcome our narrator, Karen Hopkin.
Thank you, my tempestuous taquito. Now, in the thrilling conclusion to the opera, the psychologist has just learned about an important psychology research paper. It's about people who are incompetent. The psychologist is going to explain it to us. It's something called the Dunning-Kruger effect. It's very emotional. See for yourself.
Psychologists have shown that people unskilled at something somehow do not know their own incompetence. No! Incompetence. Some people's own incompetence somehow gives them a stupid sense that anything they do is first rate. They think it's great. But no, it's not. The research clearly shows such people's perceptions as a distraction. They don't know that they don't know.
Yulia Yoon on piano. Dr. Thomas Michel on accordion. Dr. Bruce Copeland on bass. The soprano soloist Maria Ferrante. The tenor soloist Ray Bowens. The Peter Principal Chorus. And the opera directors Maria Ferrante and Robin Abrams. Now, Professor Jean Berko-Gleason will give the traditional Ig Nobel goodbye, goodbye speech.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us honor all the many people, and it's a lot of people who put together tonight's ceremony, working all year. They're behind you, they're here, 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 all over. Please, thank you. And now, would everyone on stage, would the Ig Nobel Prize winners, the Nobel Laureates, the 24/7 lecturers, our keynote speaker, and the opera performers all gather here at the front of the stage, please, for a pointless photo opportunity. Please, everybody, whack your hands together, shower them with self-esteem. On behalf of the Harvard-Radcliffe Society of Physics students and the Harvard-Radcliffe Science Fiction Association, especially from all of us at the Annals of Improbable Research, from all of us, please remember this final thought. If you didn't win an Ig Nobel Prize this year, and especially if you did, better luck next year. Thank you.